Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for a brand new video, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, your eyes aren't deceiving you. It is a European away day, so you know what that means, and this guy forgot his green screen, I mean blue screen, so I apologise about the background or anything like that. I do apologise if the audio and that's wrong. We're obviously filming this through the actual phone, so hopefully it's not too bad because there is so much to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, because once again, Rangers turn up on a European Thursday. The Thursday truly belongs to Rangers as we come away with a game at Lisbon versus the informed Benfica, apart from the last two games, but we'll talk about it another time. In a game that 4 goals were scored and we scored 3 of them, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Now, unfortunately, one of them did go in to the back of our net as Goldson continues to show everyone who's willing to pay attention that the only time he ever gets anything on target is when it's in his back of his net. But that performance or that moment of unluckiness, luck, if you're a Benfica fan, whatever you want to say, is a major storyline in the actual game of football. And aye, follow me if you didn't mind on this little journey and this little roller coaster I call Rangers 2. Benfica 2, and it's all set up for what will be a magical Thursday next week at Ibrox. And right away, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to dive right into the game. We saw the starting 11. It was nearly like for like what we were expecting going at the game, and I'll be honest, I was really excited. You could feel it at the stadium, you could feel it there, and there's some severe weather warnings and that over here. That's why I think some Benfica fans didn't make it to the actual game, but the away fans were absolutely sensational. You could feel it in the air. There was real belief that if we could turn up and if we could ride the luck, if you will, there is something left in this game for us, because it's an old footballing cliche, but we've said it many times right here on the channel. You can never ever win it in the first leg of a 2-leg tie, but you can certainly lose it, and you just had to bring something back to Ibrox. Our European journey, the fantastic journey that took us to a European final, was built on moments and games and grinding out and keeping it for the home ground, where again there's just magical dust sprinkled around that famous stadium as magical moments seem to actually happen. And this feels like that one right here, again gone to Lisbon. And honestly, when the final whistle went, you could feel it for the Benfica fans. They were raging and they were filling their knickknacks, as this result isn't a good result for Benfica. Now, of course, away goals rule is being ripped up. It's no longer a part of football, by the way. Can I just say it needs to come back? Do you know what I mean? Away goals, not just for us in this terms, the benefit used to bring a magical spark to European football that's gone for a lot of the teams, but where that advantage no longer exists, the psychological advantage that them at home versus what we had available on that day wasn't enough to come away with not even a win or a convincing win, but a convincing performance from a Benfica side that did play some pretty stuff on the football. But let's just call it how we see it. Me to thee, they scored 2 goals today. One of them was a controversial bar penalty, and the other one was again an own goal. You take from that, you look at that game, who the momentum favours. It's clearly on Rangers' end, so I give a lot of respect and a lot of appraisal to this Rangers team, because this tonight maybe isn't a glamour win. It's not a 4-2 away to Dortmund or anything like that, but this result right here, 2-2, is a sensational result. That's sensational, by the way, that you're actually sitting, based on what we gave in the game and the performance that we did, you're sitting back thinking a 2-2 draw is almost bad. Do you know that feeling? You probably felt it the last minute or two when I've been talking up and saying how great this result is. See how you feel a wee bit sick to your stomach saying it's not a great result because we had it in our hands. That there shows it was a great result. We went to Lisbon versus a Benfica side, ladies and gentlemen, that's lost 2 games in the last 22 matches gone back to early November. We just got beat off Motherwell at the weekend, and we go to a European away day, a tough stadium versus an informed side, a heavily favoured informed side. We're all sitting here with a pit in the stomach, feeling like we maybe threw a win away the day, and obviously we did, and I think that's going to be the sore point when you look at the goals and the way that we've done. Can I talk to you for a second? Truthfully, can you just look me dead in the eyes? What's the handball rule? Can somebody let me know? Because I'm pretty sure Big Suter, he does this on his own arm. And I thought the rule was, and again, I'm not trying to be smart, I'm not trying to be coy, I want to actually know. Somebody help me with the handball rule. Because I thought if he headed it onto your own hand or something like that, or if it deflects off Sterling, hits off Suter's head, then hits his hand, it's no a penalty. Is it different rules for Europe? Is it different rules depending on the ref? I don't know. It's cruel, cruel way to do it. And again, the own goal is literally the biggest blunder you can do in a match. It's the worst way you can do it. But again, you're looking at a Benfica side that's got World Cup winners in there, Premier League winners in there, Portuguese League winners in there, guys that's worth a hell of a lot of money. What's their starting squad worth? Was it 160, 170 million pounds if you're looking at the market compared to us? And what did they create in the game? They had a lot of pretty stuff on the ball. They touched the ball here, there and everywhere nicely. They bombed forward, but what did they truly create in the game? Very, very little. And I'm going to start maybe the match individual reaction by talking about a couple players. And the first one's going to be very, very controversial, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm here to talk about none other than big Connor Goldson. And I know this could go really bad in the comment section below, but again, I never tell you what I think he's want to hear or what I think he's want to praise and talk about. I tell you how I feel, then you tell me how you feel in the comments, and if we disagree, we disagree. If we agree, we agree. But Connor Goldson, barring the ridiculous own goal that he actually scored in the game, I thought played pretty damn well. I know, you can shout me in the comment section, call me an idiot, call me a clown if you will, but I seen him marshalling, I seen him winning major 50-50s, I seen him win a header, maybe too many if you're actually looking at it that way. I thought he'd done really well defensively, but that's how cruel it can be, and I can't defend the own goal, I truly can't. It's just horrific. Is it unlucky? Is it poor? Is it baith? Probably is. They just had a little baby, the poor and the unlucky, and you're just left with that guff. But I actually thought he'd done alright in the game, as did the other man, John Suter, in certain occasions. And that's what's crazy. Your two centre-backs can have an alright game, but also, once again, being two Rangers centre-halves, playing major hands, didn't go there, and actually conceding a goal. It's just the life of a Rangers centre-back at the minute. Even when you do right, you're doing wrong. It's one step forward, two steps back, and that's how I actually felt. But moving away from maybe the controversial opinions, a couple names stand out to me right away, and I need to talk about the man who scored his first professional career goal. Can we talk about Dujon? Because the guy's mustard, baby. The guy is ridiculous. Left back, right back, centre back in the second half of a game. CDM, centre mid. He's played in the cam position up beside Tom Lawrence. He's played left wing, he's played right wing, and now he's making runs into the box, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, look at the pace. I've still got it, troops. I've still got it. He ran and timed his run better than our 5 million, 6 million, 4 million, whatever you want to call Dessers. He timed his run and just strolled into the box and tucked it away like an out-and-out goal scorer. Truthfully, is there anything that man can do? Because I've not seen it yet. What a time to score your first professional career goal. The thing you think you could say about him playing on attacking areas and offensive areas over the last couple of weeks, he's deserved his goal, but what a way to go and take it in the game of football. Sterling, for me, every minute was on the park, gave everything, and I think his yellow card was an absolute joke the day. And I'm going to talk about this referee pretty strongly when we talk about Di Maria. Truthfully, I never knew the D in Di Maria stood for diving. That guy was pathetic the day, and the referee absolutely crapped his knickknacks. His back-to-back games featuring Rangers Football Club has resulted in a player who shouldn't be on the park scoring a goal. I thought the refs were in our favour. I thought the referees were in our pocket. Did a referee check bounce or something? I'm getting sick of this. It happened at Motherwell and it happened today. A guy was on a yellow card. Di Maria was on a yellow card and he dived. Again, can somebody in the comment section below tell me the rules of football? Because I'm old now, right? I'm getting in the elder statesman age and I'm starting to look back at shops that's shutting and I go, that used to be a Woolworths. That's who I am now, right? Yeah, it used to be there. Oh, that was a GameStop or a game station. That's what that used to be back in the day. That's who I'm becoming. And when I used to watch football years ago and growing up, if you dove, you got booked to stop people from diving. But now, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter how many times Di Maria dived or how many Benfica players dived the day, they got away with it, and I just didn't understand why. Is it different in Europe? Is it different in the Europa League? Do you get booked for diving? If so, well, Why was Di Maria on the part to take the penalty as he dived with zero contact from Connor Goldson, defending him pretty well, putting pressure on him and forcing him to take a bad shot inside the actual box? But aye, Di Maria the day. Not only that, if you want to say, well, it's not a booking, you can't set him off for that. What about when he hit the ball into the back of net, ran with the ball for about 20-25 seconds, hit it after the referee's already blew his whistle? Now, I'm not talking about a Robin van Persie versus Barcelona moment here where there was like 3 seconds in between the yellow card and the red in terms of the whistle and getting booked. The boy, everybody stopped and he kept running and running and running, and because he was frustrated at the way the game was unfolding, he just ran and hit a shot, didn't result in a second yellow card. And then late on in the game, ladies and gentlemen, he just comes and whips what I think is John Souttar's best moment, because he wins a major, massive 50-50. They get back up, they try and play on, and then he just comes, wins the ball bravely, and Di Maria just comes and absolutely nails him, which is the most stick-on yellow card. And it takes me back to the Sterling. Sterling got booked for what in this game? Why was Di Maria no set his second yellow card? You talk about referees influencing games and changing ties. That's a World Cup winner. One of Benfica's best players, one of Benfica's highest earners. Shouldn't he be available for selection given next week if the referee done his job properly? But the referee swallowed the whistle and Di Maria had more lives than a cat the day. And truthfully, I'll think about why he wasn't sent off for a very, very long time. But I want to get back to some positivity. I thought Sterling was great, and I thought the other man at left back was absolutely unreal. And spoiler alert for the rest of the video, my man of the match, Ridvan. This guy just continues to get better and better and better. And I'd argue, I'd actually just flat out say that's his best performance in a Rangers shirt. I know he hit one bad cross in the game, but defensively to lock down Di Maria, maybe getting held or anything like that, but he had 2 on him. You saw how they played. Fullback and Di Maria was on him. He was constantly outnumbered, but every time he won the ball, I thought those 2 players epitomised everything that was good about Rangers today, and that was a team that rolled their sleeves up and gave everything in the game. Honestly, I'm not going to slaughter them for anything. The own goal, painful, really, really bad. The goals we conceded were really bad, self-inflicted nonsense, if you will. But if you're talking about energy, if you're talking about drive, man, you go right for a Rangers team. That's why you support your team. That's why you follow your team places. You just want to see that given. And for me, I got to see it the day, ladies and gentlemen. And those 2 were battling out for man of the match, but Sterling came off. Ridvan stayed on. So for me, that was the guy. And where I give a lot of praise, there was also some negatives, ladies and gentlemen, because what was John Lundstrom doing today? Did anybody let him know it was a European Thursday and we're playing at Europa League? It looked like Michael Beale's John Lundstrom, but I'll let it go overall, as he did win a couple big tackles and a couple big interceptions. But with the ball, I just thought we were a little bit naive in certain occasions, and that's probably why we're bouncing at their feet as we're sitting filming the video, and why we're sitting here a little bit disappointed, because there was periods of this game where it was hot potato, where we just couldn't get the ball down. I thought Tavernier maybe never had his best game on the ball, but had one of his better games in defending. And the longer you watch today's recap, you'll hear his name mentioned a couple times. But he was getting on the ball a lot, and it was just going away. And he was a wee bit hesitant when the actual tackles were coming in, especially in the first half, because if he got booked the day, he was missing Ibrox, and I think that probably played its part in why he was maybe sitting back a wee bit further and letting Sterling do a lot of his defending run, because again, this referee couldn't be trusted to do the correct job on the park, or Di Maria and Benfica would have been Ofsky. And that's truthfully how I feel about the overall game. Buzzing with it. Obviously, a couple individuals stood out to me. A couple maybe played underneath the radar. But if you're talking about energy and you keep it in the tie for the next round, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. But I've been talking for nearly 14 minutes right now. Let's get to the actual game recap then, shall we? Because someone that I've not mentioned yet that played a major part in us keeping this game is Jack Butland. And honestly, I need to walk about again. Can I just walk about for a few seconds, please, and talk about this man, Jack Butland? Honestly, if Gareth Southgate doesn't pick him, and he's gone about picking guys that's known as a T-Rex instead of him, I don't know what to tell you, England fans or English supporters or whatever, ladies and gentlemen, because that there is the best goalie. Distribution wasn't great today, Jack. You know what I mean? I love you, and I was terrified that my missus was going to fall in love with you and follow you. But again, if she did, there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? You're Jack Butland, I'd probably welcome it. Probably talk about it. Put it as my bio. But in terms of shot saving, he was big. First 5 minutes of the game, Tavernier gets fouled here, to be fair, and if it was given, If the goal ends up here, it's probably going to get VAR'd out because Tavernier just gets nailed in the back. But they play on, and Jack Butler needs to make a massive save. Just 4 minutes. In the game, 10 minutes later, he was doing it again. But the team that broke the deadlock was us, ladies and gentlemen. A real snatch and grab, if you will, as again Benfica was playing all the pretty stuff. Look at us, we can pass it side to side. Who cares? The only thing that matters is putting the ball in the back of the net, and this Rangers team certainly showed that, as Sterling, very brave in the middle of the park. Silva, who was probably trying a wee bit too hard today. I don't know if you agree with me in the comment section below. There was moments he'd done the right thing. He'd beat a man. He'd create the space. But then he had to make the pass, or then he had to make the shot. But then he was trying to do too much. You know what I mean? He couldn't be happy with when he beat his man and created the gap. He then had to try and beat another man, or try and take a run when he just needed to pass it off. But obviously there was a lot of stakes on his hanging. I think he was playing with a real determination to show something. But he's big here, plays it to Diamande, and what I love here is the quality. And I need to talk about Dio as well. This guy is genuinely a diamond, and I'm not talking about any puns or anything like that. I made a joke the other week there about him being better than Yaya Toure, ladies and gentlemen, and that might be a bit premature, but he's truly on his way, because if you look at this ball, it's no drilled in at the near post, it's no smashed in to an area. He delightfully just chips it to the back post, and Tom Lawrence running onto it like a flying Welshman and sticks his noggin on it. That goal there is outrageous, from the way it was created to the way it was finished, and that's what this team can do when it all clicks. It's made to look absolutely beautiful, and there was pandemonium in the actual stadium from the Rangers fans. You could hear a pin drop for the rest, but Lawrence of Rangers silenced the crowd and made it very, very unnerving. The only frustrating thing, ladies and gentlemen, is we just couldn't hold the ball. You know what I mean? We just couldn't stay on it enough. Despite us having a couple wee moments, we couldn't really get Dessers involved. Dessers was nearly an afterthought. Half the time I forgot he was playing, and the other time I was thinking he was running about with cement in his timbies. I couldn't work him out the day, and he seemed a bit frustrated, but that's probably because there was so much work and so much energy going into the middle of the park and sitting back and trying to work, that he was really, really badly exposed and needing somebody next to him. So that's kind of the way it went, and then Benfica started to swarm and swarm and swarm, and then it started to get a little bit nippy as some handbags happened, as they end up, I think it's actually Fabio Silva that fouls one of them, but the referee tries to play advantage. They play it down to the right, and then Di Maria just literally runs behind and shoves Ridvan in. You know, I didn't like bullies, ladies and gentlemen. Never have in my entire life, and I never ever will. And you could see it, right? Because once they shove wee Ridvan down, I think it's Odamendi or something like that, comes up and starts shouting at him and stuff. You're really hard, mate, picking on somebody that can't ride the big one at Blackpool. Well done. You're so solid, big man. They try and get in Ridvan's face, but what I loved is Sterling getting in there. I loved Goldie coming in and screaming at the big centre-half, asking him to try and shout at him. I don't know if anybody noticed that, and I know he scored an own goal, that's all everybody cares about, but I just like when the players are fighting for each other, and we finally got it. There's been times where we've been frustrated with stuff like that, and everyone's got their head down, walking about, doing all this, but we really fought as a team the day, and just wee reactions like that is massive in my personal opinion. But Di Maria ends up getting booked for the ridiculous shove in the back, and the player who got in his face and literally pointed right on his forehead and calling him a cheat and everything like that, nothing happened to him. Then Sterling gets booked. I think he was trying to win the ball. I don't know if there is any contact. I couldn't really see from my position. If I'm being brutal, honest with you, if I am wrong, you can let me know in the comments. But it seemed very harsh. It was his first foul in the game, in my opinion, and it's not a dangerous area. It's no stop my counter-attack. It just seemed like a foul. And the referee raced to give it a yellow card. Was he trying to balance the Di Maria? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but aye, some handbags happened that added to get a bit spice in it, and then they actually play a beautiful ball to Di Maria. He takes a wonderful little 360 roulette turn, and Connor Goldson does really well defensively to put pressure on him, force him to have a shot, not get comfortable, and from there Di Maria is then diving, rolling about the ground, screaming, wanting a penalty kick, and this is what I'm talking about. There's no contact. Where's the second yellow for the simulation and the diving and the all this pish, man? It's boring seeing that, and it really should be rooted out in football, but whilst referees swallow their whistles, nothing will ever truly be done. But honestly, it was starting to build at that moment. You could feel it, and maybe the worst thing you could say is the way we conceded the corner that conceded the penalty was completely self-inflicted again, and it's annoying because the defender for Benfica makes a mistake They pass it right to Dessers. And Dessers, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to do a nonchalant nutmeg him, right? He's trying to just nutmeg him and run through. But it's so nonchalant, it's so lazy, it's so poor at that when you know nobody is anywhere near you. And what happens when he does that, he just passes it directly to them. And the centre-half says, oh, thank you, hits out wide, they go down, they win a corner, and then it's a VAR penalty kick. No, I'm not trying to blame Dessers for the penalty, because I know it does hit John Souttar's arm and everything like that. But it's like little moments like that. If you want to have an away day, if you want to do really well in the big competitions, when you're playing really good teams, you need to be smarter than that. And I've backed Dessers massively, and I will, because again, we've got to for the rest of the season. But it's moments like that that people remember. It's the big moments at Parkhead. It's the moments like this. It's got to be better and stop with the nonchalant nonsense. And aye, it was frustrating. The corner, it hits off Souttar's head, I think. He hits it into his own Aram. It's fine, it's a penalty kick, and then Jack Butland gets booked for trying to play some mind games with Di Maria. It's funny, Jack Butland gets booked. Well, Di Maria should be off the actual part. But anyway, Di Maria steps up, shows his coolness. He's a World Cup winner, 5-time Champions League winner, one here, one there. You're expecting that from a man of his quality. And someday, let's watch them from afar for many years and actually rated him pretty damn highly. And I think he is one of the most underappreciated and underrated players in the last odds 10, 15 years. I was actually disappointed by his antics today. Truly, he's just a football fan, not even just for a Rangers fan. All the diving crap and the rolling about, seeing if the referee's looking. I've got no time for any of that, and that was really disappointing seeing that in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. But it's probably my fault for not seeing too much of him in terms of crunch games or important games in that way. But aye, seeing it in person, seeing all the rolling about, seeing all the diving, it's just really, really embarrassing. But it's one each. The crowd is all with them, and you're starting to get a little bit nervous now as you've shot yourself in the actual fit. How will you actually respond? The crowd's up. They're all getting at the... there was an eagle flying about. What was the eagle all about? I thought I was losing my mind at one point. You know what I mean? I went, drank my cola, looked up, and everybody was just dancing about an eagle, and I was going, what universe am I actually on? But back to the actual game. That was 5 minutes before kickoff, and I don't know if this is real life or a simulation. Anyway, a big eagle cutting about. But the way we responded was brilliant, as we silenced the crowd and probably pocketed the eagle in that way, as well as we get the ball. Goldson, big, brave header up against the goalkeeper, does brilliantly well here, and this is where you've got to give him actual credit, because he doesn't foul the goalie, doesn't put his hands on him, he just jumps up, throws that big cinder block at it, knowing he's going to get the contact, but that gives us the opportunity. Diamande wins the ball, they play it out to the left, it goes to Fabio Silva. Fabio Silva cuts inside, drills a ball towards the back post, and again we've already talked about the mustard man himself, runs on it, tucks away, and you're thinking, oh my god, there's a lengthy VAR call, but it's ended up being absolutely fine, and you're absolutely buzzing as we somehow make it to half-time 2-1 up despite the pressure for Benfica. But there wasn't exactly a clear moment, besides the one where Tavernier got beat. And I forgot to mention this actually earlier in the video, it was about the 15th to 20th minute, but Tavernier gets beat in the inside, the hover shot's well saved by Jack Butland, it goes up in the air, and then Connor Goldson, who everyone's going to be slaughtering in the comment section, let's not forget this moment. I nearly did, didn't talk about it, let me live a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, as the ball drops to a Benfica player, it hits on the volley, it should be in, but Goldson's big brave block bounces off his leg, and it gives Jack Butland an opportunity to actually have a Butland moment. But I'd argue it's just as an impressive save for Goldson. The only thing you could say is, Liz, this time he didn't use his actual hands. But that's it in terms of the first half. You had another fantastic save just shy of the half-time whistle with Jack Butland, brilliant with his old legs, getting a shot. But every time, even he, in terms of his distribution, was poor the actual day. But we go into the second half and we're in dreamland. We're thinking, right, let's tidy this up a little bit. Let's start getting on the ball. Let's calm the boys down. But again, it was hot potato. Jack Butland then had to make another big save again with his feet as they run down the left-hand side. Goes to the back post, and Ridvan doing brilliant defensively header. And I'm saying, when Ridvan's winning headers, it needs to be your man of the match in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. When Ridvan's winning headers, he deserves to win your man of the match. But again, pressure was building. The only real moment we had was maybe Silva taking his man on, cutting back, running to the left, trying to go near post to face the goalkeeper into the save, but that was really it in terms of Rangers' attacking force in the second half. Benfica was pressing, but even in saying that, the way we conceded was painful because you could feel it, and I'm sure if you were watching it with your pub, with your friends, your family, at the pub, at the game, wherever you were watching it on a dodgy Fire Stick, it never ever matters. You'd have seen it with your own eyes. I think it was screaming out for substitutions, and this is where you need to look and appreciate where we are as a football team, because it wasn't perfect today. It certainly wasn't pretty, but everyone gave everything. The midfield was done. 60 minutes on the clock. In a perfect world, you're bringing on everybody, but everyone's needing to be nursed. Everyone's just coming back to a game. Everyone's in this weird state, so there was only so much Phil could do. But if I could be overly critical here, I'd have liked the substitutions even rest maybe 10 minutes before they actually came on. I know they eventually came on in the 75th minute of the game, but 10 minutes prior, maybe gives us a bit of the energy to probably prevent Benfica from dominating the game. But even in saying that, you can't point to Phil, you can't point to substitutions, ladies and gentlemen, because Goldie just headers it into his own goal, and aye, it's dreadful. And what was embarrassing for me personally is Ridvan gets booked in this instant because he takes the guy out, but you're thinking, that's a good sub, that's a good foul, that's a clever foul. He's thought about that because you pick up the yellow card, you stop the counter-attack, you defend your set piece, and that's a moment that can win you a game of football. And then the cross goes in. Goldie's headers it in at the back of the net, and you're thinking, please be offside or something, please say someone's ran in front of him or hit it off him or something, and then you watch it back. And again, I can't say none. I'm a big Goldie fan. It's been a difficult couple of weeks, couple individual games as well, and I think he actually played well as a player today. But you remember for your moments, unfortunately that moment wasn't pretty for Connor Goldson. So people could shout me for being a Connor Goldson guy, but I agree with you. The centre-back does need to be a priority in the summer, both right and left. An improvement there, somebody else in there that can be a bit more dominant in the areas. It's just not good enough, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how I sort of feel towards the end of the game. There was more huffs and puffs. I think there was like a free header for Benfica around about the 80th minute. Roof came on, and I thought within 5 minutes he offered more than Dessers. But you know where you are with Roof. You need to take your time. It's like a risotto, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever watched Hell's Kitchen. If you rush it, it's going to all crumble and fall apart. But if you take your time, you could get a tune of it. And no, when I started filming this video 27.5 minutes ago, did I expect to compare Kamal Roof to risotto? No. But it's, ladies and gentlemen, it's late at night. My voice is gone. My missus is something to stand out in the hallway because I'm filming awkwardly in here. So that's where we are between us. I thought it was great. Came in, worked his socks off, tried to link up play, and we just couldn't do it. Before we wrap up the game, to show you where we are as a football team, and I mean this in the best respect, Cole McKinnon had to come into this game it was 25 minutes to actually go. Let's give him the respect that he deserved. That's a laddie that's had one previous career appearance for the top side. He's come in away to Lisbon in a European day, 93. Oh no, the battery's running out. Let's press this little button and hope it's all continuing. He came in, ladies and gentlemen, and absolutely worked his socks off. We should never be in a position as a football club to rely on somebody who's had one career appearance for the top side to play 20, 25 minutes in a away game versus Benfica with the money and the value that they've got. And that's why, despite the goals we conceded, and I can see what people are saying online, I could hear it on the bus, I could hear it, some people were really frustrated. I think if you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, this is a damn impressive result. What we've got available, some of the youngsters we had to go and reach. Shout out to Cole, shout out to Ross, obviously he's playing with a knock but coming on the last 5 minutes. I see real Son behind this result. I really do. Son, I can really be proud of it. Doesn't make up for what happened on Saturday, but that's a team showing you they've got something and they're willing to fight, and hopefully that fight continues to the end of the whole season. But that's truthfully it in terms of that. I know they dived a couple more times in the box and everything like that. Di Maria should have been sent off in the last minute. Jack Butland had a couple good saves. They did hit the bar, I think, in the 78th minute with a cross that came in, but it was a kind of fluky cross. Jack Butland's got something on it, hits there. There's numerous set pieces. I finally saw somebody, by the way, that's worse at corners than us, and that's Di Maria. Every single one was just drilled with knee height to the front post. It's just unfortunate that John Suter ended up giving them a goal for it. But aye, shout out the team. That's an impressive damn result in my personal opinion. What about you? Again, apologies. It's not the same background and everything. Normally I bring the green screen, I fire it up and then I edit it and everything like that with that. But it was just the way this ended up coming together in the flight and everything like that. So apologies if the quality is absolutely dreadful. But I just wanted to share this moment. I'm proud of the team. Slightly gutted we couldn't hold on to it, and that's maybe me being a perfectionist and wanting that for the Rangers team. But could I be prouder of the team for what they gave? Probably no, ladies and gentlemen. Could I ask for a little bit more for Lunny? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And that's truthfully all I've got to say. What about you? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below if you are able to hear and stay through the rest of it. Who stood out to you? What was your man of the match? And aye, what's your overall feelings in terms of that game? Do you believe we'll do it? Ibrox are truly, truly there. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's hard to score 3 goals away in Europe, but we did it. So you got to say something about that. And as always, I've been CJ992. Thank you so much for watching. I'll make sure the next video I'll bring the green screen with me. But until then, or blue screen. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye.